So, the projected attendance numbers for Bonnaroo this year have leaked, and they aren't good, but do we really need to be worried? The festival sold out in 2019, in 2020, and again in 2021, although 2020 and 2021 didn't happen. Bonnaroo doesn't officially release the attendance numbers, but that number is generally assumed to be around 100,000 in total ticket sales to sell out. So to go from 3 years to that to just 35,000 is definitely bad. And low ticket sales are not Bonnaroo's only problem right now. But I don't think it's necessarily the end of the world. It's our first Bonnaroo in 3 years, and I know most people watching are just excited to be back on the farm, especially after last year. But a lot of criticism has been thrown the way of the lineup. A lot of people have said that they're not excited about or even disappointed with who we're getting this year. In my opinion, it's fair to say that the lineup is pretty weak in comparison to what we've gotten or we're supposed to get in the last few years. It looks like a similar situation to 2016, where the lineup wasn't exciting and ticket sales were pretty low. Less than 46,000 tickets were sold in 2016, which is way down from the 74,000 sold the year before, or the 100,000 sold in 2012. I'm not privy to Bonnaroo's financials, so this is all just speculation, but I think it's fair to assume that Live Nation was expecting a number more in the range of previous years and had budgeted accordingly. To only sell 35,000 tickets probably means operating this year's festival at a loss. But don't forget that after 2016, Bonnaroo made some changes, and the next few years were all uphill. 2017 sold 65,000 tickets, 2018 sold 85,000 tickets, and 2019 sold 100,000 tickets. Live Nation is a big corporation, and for as much as we dislike them for that, it means that they can afford to take the hit. They posted big earnings from the first quarter of this year and never really seemed to struggle with money. So that's it, right? We have nothing to be worried about? Well, not quite. Poor ticket sales aren't the only problem Bonnaroo is having right now. As we all know, last year the festival was canceled the day before because of flooding caused by Hurricane Ida. While it's assumed that they had insurance to cover the cost of refunding tickets, I definitely think they had to eat some major costs, and cancellation caused some pretty big losses. Bonnaroo has also been involved in an ongoing tax dispute with Coffee County for the past couple of years. If you ask anyone who's been to Bonnaroo where the festival happens, you'll probably be told Manchester, Tennessee. But not a single Bonnaroo has ever actually happened in Manchester. The farm was, up until recently, in unincorporated Coffee County outside Manchester city limits. In early 2021, they formally asked the city of Manchester to annex their property, and the city board agreed in an unopposed vote. That prompted Coffee County to sue, claiming that the annexation was illegitimate. This all boils down to money. For the first 20 years of Bonnaroo's existence, they had an agreement to pay the Coffee County government $3 for every ticket sold, in addition to paying for fire and EMS presence. After the original agreement expired, Bonnaroo wanted to renegotiate their agreement so that some of the money was earmarked specifically for infrastructure projects to improve the area around the property. After they failed to come to an agreement with the county, they turned to the city of Manchester, who agreed to their terms and annexed the farm into the city. After all this, Coffee County passed a tax that would be in addition to the new agreement with Manchester and without the provisions for the money to be spent on projects that benefit the area around the farm. Bonnaroo, of course, objected to this, and the tax was forced to go to the state level for review. When it reached state level, it was passed quietly and without specifically mentioning Bonnaroo, the only festival in Coffee County, and with almost no committee debate. This prompted Bonnaroo to threaten to relocate the festival, or at least publicly consider it. So, will they? Well, as we know, Live Nation has invested a lot in infrastructure in the last 5 years. We've gotten permanent toilets, showers, improved campgrounds and plazas, improved roads, and even a new arch. A big corporation like them is unlikely to just throw their hands up and quit with so much sunk cost in the current location. So it's almost a given that Bonnaroo will continue in Manchester for at least a few years because of the investment. Live Nation wants Bonnaroo to grow, and they've shown that their interest is in the long term. Ultimately, poor ticket sales reflect complacency on the part of Live Nation. I think they assumed that people would just be excited to go back to Bonnaroo after so much time off, regardless of who was playing. They were wrong. The lineup just isn't good enough for a lot of people to justify going to it over other festivals happening this spring and summer. If I didn't live in Nashville, I might not go this year. I don't want to dog on any of the artists playing this year except Machine Gun Kelly. And I'm not trying to say that absolutely no one is happy with the lineup. I'm sure there are people who are super excited for the artists playing this year, but it's just a smaller number of people. It seems like everyone else is pretty underwhelmed. Part of the reason I and a lot of other people go to Bonnaroo is the community, but ultimately it's a music festival and it has to deliver a strong lineup to sell. Before I moved to Nashville, I used to drive down from the Chicago area just for Bonnaroo. I love what Bonnaroo offers, but this year's lineup just isn't as good as it should be. So where does that leave us? Hopefully, these low sales will be a wake-up call to Live Nation to improve the lineup in the coming years. It can go back to the heights of 2019. In my opinion, this is the most likely scenario, and it's not worth stressing about right now.